dirtbag, soup sandwich, blue falcon. These are the words that describe a soldier in a jacked up uniform. The reason why we use these words is to express and convey and give them a significant emotional event so they don't want to do it again. Now, some people would ask, why be so harsh on a soldier when their uniform is just a little bit out of standard? Well, if you can't entrust a soldier to wear the uniform responsibly and put it together responsibly, how can you entrust that same soldier to do what they're supposed to do, what's expected of them to do downrange in a combat situation? Now, what I'm going to explain today is what is wrong with this uniform and how to correctly fix it. Starting off first, we have our nameplate. Every soldier wears a nameplate centered on the piece of Velcro, upper right-hand corner of the ACU, the Army Combat Uniform top. This one here is in the correct spot, but it's not centered correctly. So, now it's correct. On the left-hand side of the top of the uniform, we have the U.S. Army tape. This one is again placed in the correct position. However, it's upside down. And the last piece we're going to discuss here on this uniform for this soldier is her rank. So she is a Sergeant First Class. However, her chevrons are pointing to the left with the rockers pointing to the right. From an E1 all the way up to an E9, from an E2 all the way up to an E9, the chevrons will always be facing up, rockers on bottom. The only I guess, change to that would be for an E4, which they have a shield with a little eagle on it. So, unless you're a corporal, then you'll have two chevrons. Now it's correct. Moving on, we're going to talk about the right sleeve of the Army Combat Uniform. This is where you're going to wear your combat patch. The American flag is never below the combat patch. It's always above, centered on the top of that right sleeve. The combat patch will go underneath, centered as such. Now we're going to talk about her unit patch, which is located on the left-hand side. This is her unit patch, telling everybody around who she belongs to. Normally, for active Army, it is a divisional patch. There are some differences, though. For her, they don't have a division. This means medical, so she's some type of medical. This will be centered in the middle of the right sleeve. This is a uniform that is being correctly worn. You can go ahead and have some. So, some people would ask, why is it important to wear the uniform correctly? Well, if a soldier comes to an organization with a jacked up uniform, regardless of their rank, it's going to bring a negative attention to them, to their NCO, to their chain of command, because it's like, what are you teaching those soldiers? Another reason why it's important to wear a uniform correctly is there's nobody that joins the military that says, I don't want to get promoted. I'll tell you what, wearing a uniform is the first step of getting promoted, because if a soldier wears the uniform correctly, you know that they have some type of discipline and standard that is more or less bleeding over to the rest of their profession. So, in closing, I would like to say that wearing the uniform correctly will be a great asset in your military career. And just like everything else in the Army, there's some type of regulation on it. The uniform is laid out in two: DA Pamphlet 670-1 and Army Regulation 670-1. Remember, wear the uniform correctly, get promoted, become Sergeant Major of the Army. Thank you.